Telephone of the Tree is inspired by the Japanese phone of the wind, a phone booth housing a non-functioning rotary dial telephone. People use it to contact their deceased loved ones, treating the device as a tool that metaphorically calls on people's spirits. These precious connections facilitate healing by bridging a divide between the living and the dead in a familiar, accessible way. Conversation. Telephone of the Tree takes this idea of an old-fashioned phone and plants it within the branches of a birch tree, an act meant to help a girl named Isla face the sudden passing of Kiri, her best friend. Isla is hesitant to pick up the handset, but is slowly warming to the idea as people in her community visit the tree to call their own loved ones who've passed on. For whatever reason, middle grade stories about grief never cease to impress me. The authors have their fingers on the pulse of the human condition, confronting the topic with grace, depth, and a keen awareness of the multifaceted way people process their emotions. First, the thing about jellyfish, then Dear Mothman, and now, Telephone of the Tree. I have been truly blessed with stunning narratives that just claw into my heart and will surely stay with me for years to come. McGee wrote Telephone of the Tree's heartbreaking but ultimately hopeful story with simple, approachable text that's somehow easy to consume, yet extraordinarily thoughtful and intelligent. While reading, I kept wondering how McGee managed to say so much with such little language, and it's all done in a brief amount of space. Barely 200 pages, and most of that is only partially covered in text. The word choice is uncomplicated, but make no mistake, this story is packed with emotion. The writing glides across the page and burrows into your psyche. It's as if having a concise script allows the story to cut that much deeper into the reader, acting like a fine blade that carves part of Isla's grief away so that you can experience it too. As you may imagine from the title, trees are vital to the tale. Isla goes so far as to know early on that she and Kiri once desired to become trees when they grew up, despite the biological impossibility of their shared dream. Even if trees aren't characters themselves, they take up so much of the main character's thoughts and shape how she sees and interacts with her world. Trees are a sign of strength, among other great symbolism. When Kiri goes away, Isla leans on her tree, one planted when she was born, for comfort and support. It stabilizes her when everything else in her life is unbalanced. Yet, Isla is also mentally stuck, much like the roots of a tree are stuck in the ground. She's entrenched in negative feelings that she can't bring herself to face. Instead, she repeats phrases in her mind to distract herself from what she can't quite yet face. The shocking truth that Kiri died and is never coming back. Unable to metaphorically move, the main character clings to what was while simultaneously struggling to face experiences the two friends once shared together. For instance, Isla can't stand her mother braiding her hair because that was something her mom did for Isla and Kiri, the unstoppable duo. Isla craves the familiar, but subconsciously recognizes what returning to the familiar means if she does it without Kiri by her side. Besides strength and connection, trees also symbolize life and growth. Slowly and on her own time, Isla begins to recognize that life goes on without Kiri. Isla's birch tree will continue to grow just like its human counterpart, and while it goes through periods of dormancy, there will still be moments of beautiful, breathtaking bloom. Life doesn't have to be a broken experience without Kiri by Isla's side. It will be difficult, yes, but many wonders still lie ahead. Isla has so much more life yet to live. A truth that is as steady as the fact that there will always be a first time and a last time we have an experience. The sentiment is both exciting and daunting, but altogether unavoidable. There is a first time Isla walked to school with Kiri, a last time she walked to school with Kiri, and a first time she walked to school without Kiri. Such events pass us by on a daily basis, but little thought's given to them until a dramatic shift happens that makes these firsts and lasts so apparent to us. One of the most interesting discussions in Telephone of the Tree is one centered on the idea that we see loved ones where they used to be. Spaces left behind by people's absences are almost as powerful as the spaces they occupy in life, and how these gaps are perceived can weigh us down or lift our spirits. It depends on where we are in our journey. Grief is such a singular experience in how we embrace it or process it. Yet, grief is also a universal experience in that it hits all communities. The emotion, while feared and unwanted, brings people together in a shared understanding. And in that connection is a lifeboat with which we can connect with one another. The telephone of the tree is a narrative that radiates grief, but also empathy, patience, and understanding. It's deeply meaningful, and I can't recommend it enough.